On level, you could be the greatest individual in football history.
We are back with another video. Listen, I feel like a lot has happened today, you know. Ronaldo, the comments made by Ten Hag, the Jong situation, and obviously the Dean Henderson interview yesterday, which a lot of United fans are upset about. But before we get started, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to Haj. The link is in the title. What are you saying?
More good, bro. More good. What are you saying?
I'm good. Listen, been a crazy time, innit? Been a crazy time for United. Let's start with the Ten Hag Ronaldo thing, innit? Because a lot of people, like, let me hear your take, innit? Because we've already spoke before in the group chat about it, and I feel like we're on a similar wavelength here.
Fam, I think people are bored. I really do. I think people need to get jobs because, like, you see that whole Ronaldo Ten Hag thing. Yeah, fam. Everybody left. Yeah. Now I'm not trying to hear the whole Ronaldo was part of match day, this and that. Like, the manager came out and said it. We're a team. Yeah. So it doesn't matter whether you're match day squad, whether you're watching it from the stands. Yeah. At the end of the day, the guy clearly has a problem with people leaving. So I get it, and I'll be real in it. Like, I respect it. Like, I get his stance 100%. So I think what it is people are buying too much into it. It's just a case of clearly maybe on the previous managers like Oli or Ranić, players were allowed to leave whenever they wanted. Ten Hag doesn't want that. You live and learn. It is what it is. Like, it's not that deep. It really isn't.
I think from the players that didn't play, I think literally every single player went in it. Because obviously I was at the game, in it. Harry Maguire was the only one that came with like some of the rest of the players. Because I think Harry Maguire left the stadium at 6:46, I think, that day, innit? Because I was looking through my phone today, seeing the times of the videos that I made when they were coming out. Harry Maguire was the only person that who wasn't in the matchday squad that came out with the rest of the team, innit? He came out with his family and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the rest of the players, every single one of them, including Ronaldo, Rashford, Bruno, Martial, you name them, kind of thing, they all left before, innit? With Ronaldo, kind of thing, or during those times. So that's what I'm saying. Like, when people are blaming, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not excusing Ronaldo, kind of thing, because obviously what Ronaldo did was wrong, what the rest of the players did was wrong, innit? But the way Ronaldo's kind of like highlighted is crazy, kind of thing. And obviously it's gonna happen. He's the biggest name, but I think it's one of those situations, where you said it before, in terms of these players probably got away with it under previous managers. Oli, Ralph, they might have had different rules. Different managers have different rules. Ten Hag clearly wants everyone to stay together and leave together as a team, which is understandable.
Yeah. No, it's like, I get it though. I get it. Like, I can guarantee you, if I was a journalist or I worked in any social media, if I worked in any like news outlet out there, if I was a journalist, bro, and I saw that report, boy, the first name I'm typing is Cristiano Ronaldo. I get it. Well, it makes the most sense because, let's be real, if the report came out and said Erik Ten Hag is annoyed at the fact that Anthony Martial left, nobody cares. Like, I'll be real with you guys, innit? It's not gonna get that much traction. It really won't. So it makes a lot of sense, innit? Say Ronaldo, everybody's gonna click, everybody's gonna read, everybody's gonna watch the videos. It makes a lot of sense. But the guy said it himself. Even when the interviewer asked him, like, it seemed like Ronaldo left, he said, yeah, and there were a few others. So I don't understand like why people are crying. And it's got nothing to do with whether you back Ronaldo, whether you're against Ronaldo. Fam, the guy said it himself. If he had said, yeah, Ronaldo left and I've got a problem with it, then feel free to have a field day. But like, at the moment, it's just lazy. It's jobless. It is what it is.
Yeah, he didn't single out anyone. Someone said Ronaldo was the only player in the squad to leave because he came off at halftime. The rest of the players didn't come off at halftime. Ronaldo was the only sub made because obviously he's just behind in terms of match fitness compared to everyone else. It's like the first couple of games of preseason. Players were playing 45 minutes. Ronaldo's at that stage where he's in the first week of preseason. He can't play 60, 70 minutes. He has to play 45, kind of thing, innit? So that's what I'm saying. When people say the rest of the squad didn't leave, it's just completely different, kind of thing. And someone said, but you need permission before you leave. To be fair, like, this is what I think Haj is saying. Like, they might have had permission in these sort of cases to leave under the old regime, kind of thing. Because I saw like a lot of people cooking Mark Goldbridge and stuff here, but what Mark Goldbridge said was backed up by Sky. Sky Sports did say on Sunday that the club, I'm not going to say they were fine with it, but they were kind of allowed. It's not like that it's clearly been some miscommunication in this situation in my eyes, isn't it? Whether this happens again now next week, for example, then that's where you'll be like, what are the players doing? Ten Hag's clearly sent a message where you're leaving together. You're coming together, you're leaving together. But I think for now, it's kind of like a mistake's been made. They were clearly in the wrong. Ten Hag's dealt with it. He's probably spoke to the people that left. They might have got a fine. You move on. And someone said no Baines with Goldbridge. Listen, I'm not even backing up Mark Goldbridge here, but Sky Sports literally came out and said the club said their players were allowed to leave in it. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true. Like when I woke up and I saw it, I was like, this isn't that deep. But I was like, I get it. People will make it big because it's Ronaldo. It makes sense, but like it really isn't that deep. Like nobody's gonna get fined. I don't think any of them got fined. I don't think any of them will get fined. I don't think any of them will get punished. You live and learn. It's a new manager. It's not as if Ten Hag's been here for 2 years. The players know that they can't leave and they left. No, man, the guy's only been in the job for 2-3 months. He clearly goes about things completely different to Ralph. Goes about things completely different to Oli. Yeah, at the end of the day, you live and learn. And I can guarantee you this ain't the first time. There's in a few months' time, there's probably going to be another case where the players do something and Ten Hag doesn't agree with it. Like you have to bear in mind, innit? Yeah, that Ten Hag is learning about his players. His players are learning about him. It really isn't that deep. Like I can't even believe we're talking about it. But
never can I. It's just the way everyone's reacting. I think the biggest thing for me, it was kind of like I saw a couple of people saying, "Oh, this is Ronaldo's like clique in the dressing room," like people like Dalot and stuff. And I was just like, "You say that, but people like Rashford also left, didn't it? People like Martial probably left. They're not necessarily Ronaldo's guys, are they? So, like, if everyone's following the same thing, they probably had that expectation that they could have left under previous regimes, for example. Which is what I'm saying. Like, I don't think this thing is necessarily anything to do with Ronaldo. It just happened kind of thing, innit?
No, but you know what it is? As much as I'm backing what Ten Hag had to say about it wasn't just Ronaldo, there were others, I do get it. Because if I'm a player and I'm choosing to take 2 hours out of my day to go and watch my teammates, and then let's say half an hour in, I'm bored or like I have something to do, I shouldn't be forced to stay. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, I'm there to watch. I'm there as a supporter. Like when you go to Old Trafford, you can leave whenever you want. The Ronaldo thing, I do get it though. Like as in when people say, "Oh, like he was part of the match day squad and this and that," but like it's not. You know what it is? The reason why I don't care that much about it is because it's a preseason game. If it was a Premier League game, like I remember a few years ago when Pogba and Jose had that incident, when he felt that like, oh, Pogba was sitting in the stands laughing at his teammates and this and that, and then they caused such a big riff about it. Yeah, but that one was like, I think it was either a Prem or a Champions League game. It was one of those. But it's a friendly game. Like it's not that deep.
And someone said stop making excuses for Ronaldo. Then I'm making excuses for Martial as well then, because Martial also left. I'm making excuses for every single player then. It wasn't just Ronaldo that left. Like this is when people just don't realize kind of thing, innit? Ronaldo's the biggest name, which is why he's been mentioned, but Ronaldo was clearly not the only one that left. Every single player other than Harry Maguire who didn't play left. But hey, people can. Someone said did Martial play that day? He was in the match, not in the match day squad. He was still above in the the directors' boxes and stuff, innit? They were all watching the game.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I get that though. Like I get people that make that point because fam, I'll be real in it. Like I don't care. Like the players should have the right to leave when they want. Like I don't agree with the whole Ten Hag policy of even if you're not in the match day squad, you're forced to stay.
No, but I think it depends, innit? Because those players might have come down to speak. Like those players might have had to come down to the dressing room to speak to the manager and stuff when the manager was speaking to them.
Fam, it's their day off. Look, if it's my day off and I've come to watch, man. I should be allowed to leave when I want. That's why I'm saying I get both parties. But the one thing I don't get is why people are like paying too much attention into it. It's a preseason game. So it is what it is.
I disagree, man. I disagree. I think every single player kind of has to be there, innit? I don't think it was a day off like that, how you say. I
Then
think
where
Ten
was
Hag would
everybody else?
go upstairs in the director's boxes.
So you're telling me 20 man were
No, it
watching that
went
game?
20.
There
Like
was about 8. There was about 8.
Fred was in the director's box. I saw a picture of him.
Mm.
And I think it was like 8 or 9 other people that we saw on picture. Like the big first
Cool.
team is kind of thing, innit?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And they all
So you're
left
telling me
early
the
other
whole
than Harry
squad was
Maguire.
there. The whole squad was there and only 50% left.
No. From the people that play, like, you know, the people that played on Saturday?
Mm.
A lot of them were still there at the game, innit?
I'll be real. I don't know. I didn't even watch the game. I watched 10 minutes.
This guy, man.
Bro,
But you know one
here's the
thing? Yeah. I love Ten Hag. Like the way Ten Hag has already that, okay, the players made the mistake the other day. Let's just say the mistake, give them the benefit of the doubt. He still has the authority figure around them kind of thing, innit? Like there's no messing about with Ten Hag. And this is what I said before. You see let's just leave Ronaldo here. Ronaldo needs that authority figure in the dressing room or just someone to control him. Ten Hag's clearly made a statement straight away.
Mm.
There's no messing about. There's no you're getting special treatment here kind of thing. That's it. He's made his statement. And let's be honest, he's done it in like a authoritative way to the public without singling out anyone, which I think is good kind of thing, isn't it?
No, but also, it happened at the perfect time. Like, if it happened in a Prem game, it would look bad. It really would. But that's why I'm saying it happened in, like, you could really make a case that that game against whatever they're called, Rayo Vallecano, it was probably like a dead rubber game in comparison to all the other preseason games. Like, all the other ones were a bit more important. This one, like, what? It was like the C team. It was like 24 hours after the A team played against Atletico Madrid. It's not that deep. I understand the media outbreak if it was a Champions League game. I really would. But that's why I'm saying I don't care. I'm happy that it's happened because now they can learn from it. Now they know what Ten Hag's stance is. So if we're playing home or away, I want the whole camp there. And I want you there till the 95th minute. If any other player decides to leave in the next game, then I agree. They're worthy of being punished. They're worthy of being fined. They're worthy of being dropped. It is what it is. Like people are moving as if Ten Hag had already said from the get-go, no player is allowed to leave, and then 50% of the players left. So it's not that deep.
Like this as well, yeah. Like people are making something out of that passing sequence that ain't kind of thing, innit? It was like a bad moment in the game where they're just passing to one another. I think Ghana probably expected Ronaldo to turn. Ronaldo probably expected Ghana to switch to play in it. That's it. And this as well, like you need to stop this. Like there's a Ten Hag out. We're not gonna be Ten Hag out just because we're backing Ronaldo. We're not backing Ronaldo, saying or just explaining something factual kind of thing.
No, but
like, these lot just want us to be crying about Ronaldo every single time.
No, but it's like, bro, you see this whole thing. You don't need to back anybody. I'm not backing anybody. Fam,
No.
I said
all you have to do is back
it.
Ten Hag. Ten Hag made the right decision then.
No, I agree with Ten Hag. I really do. But I'm saying I agree with people. I agree with Ten Hag and the way he's gone about it. But me as a person, I don't agree with the whole, if you're not part of the matchday squad, you have to stay 90 minutes. That's just my take in it. Like it's got
no, but that's you in it. But Ten Hag might think completely differently, kind of thing.
So I understand why they say some people might be annoyed because they're thinking like, fam, Martial didn't even start. So why is he also getting dragged into like Ronaldo leaving at half time and this and that? But the thing is, the guy said it. It wasn't just Ronaldo who left. So clearly he's got a problem with players that started that left and players that didn't even start. At the end of the day, in his eyes, if you're part of the squad and you're there, whether you're a supporter by sitting in the stands and watching, or you're on the bench, or you started the game, he expects you to stay 90 minutes. It happened. People learn from it. I don't get it.
But I can't lie, like, as a fan that went to that game, I was hella disappointed that they left early in it. Like, why would you leave
Brother,
early?
you went to that game. What, you were optimistic going into that game? I didn't even watch it.
No, I'm not even talking about optimistic. I just wanted to see them after the game. Like, you know, before the game, I turned up 3 hours before kickoff. They're somehow already inside. Why are they inside before, like, 3 hours before kickoff? And after the game, I waited over 2 hours. I think I left there at 8:15. No player came over to me. Sad times, man. Sad times.
Brother, this isn't something that you mentioned on camera, innit? Like,
Nah, man. I was disappointed,
leave it,
man.
fam. You went for the game, you watched the game.
You see
Once the game
Ten
is
Hag.
over, you go home.
You see Ten Hag, you know. Nah, you see, I think my train was leaving Manchester Piccadilly at 8:55, innit? I was there until 8:15 waiting for 10 hours to come out. But apparently the guy was watching the women's Euros and stuff, innit? So he didn't come out. And I had to
You're
catch
a
the train.
sick guy, man. But I
Nah,
usually
man.
leave. I leave in added time. I don't want to get
Nah.
caught in the rush.
Nah, man. Like, I was there kind of thing. Clap the players off like a good fan, Hodge. You should do the same next time.
Nah, man.
Nah, man. I was there. Top bred Baines.
But that's you, innit, fam?
Listen. Let's talk about De Jong. Because I seen what you said yesterday. And I'll be honest, like, I think people should be scared. In terms, not us missing out on De Jong, because we all know that's a possibility in terms of Chelsea signing. And people, like, I've seen people say Chelsea are never going to be in for him and stuff. But listen, like we've said it before, Chelsea probably lack a plan in terms of they don't have a director of football. So why would they not go in for De Jong? They clearly want a midfielder. I think Jorginho has 1 year left on his deal. Kovacic, for example, is injury prone. Or Kante, you could argue, is on the decline. They would need another midfielder. Whether like it's high in their priority in terms of what people think, that's a different story kind of thing, isn't it? But people do want, like Chelsea would want De Jong. And I think where people say, De Jong has a relationship with Ten Hag that's going to work in our favour, it is potentially, but also that Fleck did come out and say a couple of weeks ago saying De Jong and Ten Hag's relationship is not as strong as people think, which I thought was interesting. I think throughout this window, we've known De Jong also wants Champions League football. Chelsea have Champions League football. Chelsea are also in London. I think most people rather live in London than Manchester. So I think, like, if Chelsea agree, if he, obviously the wages, forget that for a second here, there is a good possibility, a high possibility that he chooses Chelsea over us.
I think, fam, like you heard my take on it yesterday, yeah. But I think the only time Ten Hag becomes the main factor in this deal is if Man United and Chelsea were both offering the same thing. So, for example, if Man United and Chelsea both offered the same money, we both offered the same competition. So, as in Man United were in the Champions League, and the only main difference between the two teams was manager, I reckon that's when Man United edge it. But at the moment, like, let's be real, innit? Like, let's not lie to ourselves. It's the harsh truth. If Man United and Chelsea both offer the same amount, Chelsea is more attractive than Manchester United. And the simple fact is, Chelsea got Champions League football. Like, I get it. Maybe some fans don't really think Champions League football is that deep. I don't, personally. Like, I think, fam, like, at the end of the day, as a footballer, if you're good, you're going to eventually play Champions League football. But for some players, they want their 10, 15 years in football to be playing Champions League football season after season. So he looks at Chelsea, he looks at Man United. If he accepts, because at the moment he hasn't accepted the idea of having to leave Barcelona. Like, it's his dream club. He wants to stay there. He's going to fight for it. But I reckon once he accepts that he has to leave and he becomes a bit more open to it, he's going to look at Man United, he's going to look at Chelsea, and he's going to see, like, I reckon by the time he makes a decision, Chelsea would have signed some more players, and Chelsea have got Champions League football. So he leaves a Champions League team and walks into another one. But the idea of leaving a Champions League team and walking into a Europa League team, it doesn't sound that good. And it's like you said, bro, about that report from The Athletic. Like, I don't think player and manager relationships are that deep. Like, some of the best players that I've ever seen have never, ever played for the same manager twice. They've gone from manager to manager to manager, and they've balled out. It's not a problem. So, nah, man, I don't know. Like, the only thing that puts me off Chelsea is, even though I think Chelsea's package is a bit more attractive than Man United's, I don't know, man. Like, the way Chelsea have gone about business, they go into it very half-heartedly. They really do. Like, they'll show interest, but they won't go all the way. Like, that's what I've seen. Like, the Rafinha, the Dembele deal. Like, it's very half-hearted attempts to sign players. So,
but did they not offer more than Barcelona for Rafinha?
Yeah. Nah, sorry, I'm not gonna lie. I shouldn't have mentioned Rafinha. It was Dembele. Like, Dembele was half-hearted, bro. Like, you could see maybe only 30% of them wanted him. because I reckon Chelsea could have got him if they wanted him, but it's just they weren't that fast. So
I hear that, yeah, but then
I
you
don't
can
know.
probably argue like in terms of well, I think it's 29 days left until the window ends. So maybe now Chelsea are in a bit more of a panic situation in terms of deals have to be done. And I think the De Jong situation, for example, they can agree the transfer fee very easily in it. Like it is the same thing as Malacia, for example, how we done it. Chelsea know the figure is going to take for Barcelona to agree the fee. Like they can literally offer the exact same, and then it's basically up to De Jong if we're forgetting the deferred wages for a second kind of thing, innit? Chelsea or United, which it is going to be a choice for him potentially. And I think Chelsea also had that benefit in terms of someone said that their Barca want Aspi and Alonso.
Yeah, that's a good comment.
And I think with Chelsea, we have kind of seen maybe under Todd Bowley, with how late it is in the window, I think there's a possibility that they might pay the deferred wages, for example. Like, if they're getting that desperate, they could, just to get De Jong over the line kind of thing.
Maybe. But I still stand by it. I still think he stays at Barcelona. I don't think he leaves.
Yeah, you've been saying that for the entire window, innit? And someone said, so Baines, what have you got to say about Myrtle Madness, or is it uncomfortable? I said this. There's not more John Myrtle can actually do here. We've agreed the fee. Like, the only thing that you can possibly say United could do more here is just pay the deferred wages. But as a club, would you want to pay the deferred wages when Barca signing players? The answer is no. Like, if United hadn't agreed the fee, yeah, then I could say, yeah, you could blame Myrtle and stuff, innit? But we've agreed the fee. The fee's been agreed. Every credible journalist in the UK has said we've agreed the fee.
No, United have done their part. United have done their part. Like it's similar to how like Chelsea done their part with Rafinha. Like at the end of the day, it does take two to tango in a sense, where it's like Man United have submitted the offer, Barcelona have accepted it, but at the end of the day, the player has to accept to move in. And like that's what's made this deal so weird in a sense. Like I remember I said it a month ago. I was like, this is a very strange deal that you probably don't see that much in football, where the club is open to letting a player leave. There are parties that want him, but the player doesn't want to leave. And the thing is, some players with pressure and with time, they give in. They accept it. They're like, all right, cool, I'm going to move. Yo, Man United started talks with De Jong when I was abroad. Fam, I've been back for a while now. It's been like 12 weeks. United are negotiating it. Yeah, so it's clearly a case of De Jong needs to change his mind. Yeah, you can say deferred wages is a case, but nah, like from what I've read in it, he'll get his money. He'll get his money sooner rather than later. But I genuinely think the guy doesn't want to leave. Like, bro, it's his dream club. He doesn't want to leave.
No, I think we've all agreed his ideal situation would be staying at Barcelona. But if he's being forced out, I do think he would probably want the money and then for him to leave in it, if that is the situation. And someone said chasing a player you don't want to come is foolish. I said this before. United would walk away if De Jong didn't want to come. Ten Hag has spoken with De Jong. It's clear and obvious in my eyes. We walked away from Timber, for example, when Timber's personal terms broken down because he didn't want to come United. We would have done the same with De Jong in my eyes. There has to be some reassurances from the player. That's why the club is still chasing him. Because there's no way the club looked this stupid and Ten Hag will make him look stupid. There's no chance. Like, I trust Ten Hag because he's shown it. He walked away from Timber, for example. So why would he not do the same for De Jong if the player didn't want to come? And big up Andy as well. I was talking to Sai before the game. He said, you're going in. I think we saw you when the plays were, where we were waiting for the plays. And I think Saeed was calling you, innit, Andy? I don't think you saw us. Big up.
No, I think, you see with the whole, like he's spoken to Ten Hag and this and this and this and that. I'm not going to say he's told him I don't want to come or I want to come. But it's like I've been saying for the past month, bro. Beggars can't be choosers. He knows there might come a day, because let's be real, if Barca pay him, he has no reason to stay. Like, I reckon if Barca pay him the money, they will phase him out. Bro, at the end of the day, if that is a possibility in your mind, you're going to be open to all parties, whether that's Man United, whether that's Chelsea. So I reckon, of course, he's telling Ten Hag, yeah, I'm open to joining Man United. But at the end of the day, like, I'll always stand by this. Barca had an opportunity to phase him out by not taking him on the preseason tour. That would have been the best message. don't take him on the preseason tour. Bro, Xavi took him. Xavi played him in the preseason games. Like, as much as people like to buy into it, oh, he's playing him centre back. Like, apparently the guy used to play at centre back at times for
Ten Hag, yeah.
Yeah, for Ten Hag at Ajax. And the thing is, Barcelona haven't even taken that many centre backs on the tour, so it's not that deep. But that's why I said taking him on tour, giving him minutes that could have gone to other players, it does indicate that Xavi wants him. It's just a case of wages, and like I said, I reckon he gets it. But if they do pay him out, and it's a case of like, yo, we paid you out, we want you gone. We're not gonna sign you up. You're not gonna be part of our La Liga squad. Then he has to leave. And he's not doing himself any favors by telling Ten Hag, no, I don't want to come, or by telling Chelsea, I don't want to come. So that's why I don't agree with the whole, like, the reason why United are pursuing it is because he's told Ten Hag, I want to come. Like, beggars can't be choosers, bro. He's in a very awkward situation at the moment.
I agree. There's over 200 people watching it, and we're not even on 100 likes. That's a disgrace. So make sure you guys like the video. And there was another question. So someone said, if De Jong is so good, why is he being forced out of Barca? I think he's been overhyped like crazy, but I still think he's a good player. I think this is just a situation, you probably know better than me, in terms of he probably hasn't played in his best position. Like, De Jong is probably better a bit deeper in the midfield, where he hasn't really played, because Sergio Busquets obviously operates that role for Barca, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Xavi wants to play 4-3-3. Xavi wants to play 4-3-3. The base of that three is Sergio Busquets. And let's be real, as much as I rate Franky de Jong and he's a baller, like, Sergio Busquets is Sergio Busquets. So Sergio Busquets sits in the center. Where Xavi used Franky de Jong last year was like an interior. It was Dembele on the left, Franky de Jong on the right. The problem with de Jong wasn't the fact that he was poor or he didn't stand out. Nah, he was good, but it's just he's not that penetrative in the final third. It's never ever been his game. Like, even at Ajax, he was never ever that player that cooked in the final third. Nah, man, he was the player that got the ball from the first phase of play to either the second and the third, and then he let the attacking players do what they do best. So with Barcelona at the moment, that's why I say, like I even said this yesterday, it's probably within his interests the best time to stay at Barcelona, because Sergio Busquets in 12 months is gone. De Jong gets that role. And the thing is, I'll be real, like, even last year, like, it's wild of me to even come out and say, like, he's not that good playing as an interior, because Xavi came in halfway through the season, he had injuries. Like, fam, I wouldn't be surprised if of De Jong playing one whole year as a number 8, he improves. You see what I mean? So, like, people love to make it seem like the guy has stank it out at Barcelona and this and that. Like, he really hasn't. Like, it's just he's being played in a position that he doesn't really have the strength for. But, like, it's not that deep, to be fair.
Someone said De Jong can't play the Busquets position. I don't think he's like a lone six, and I said that before, innit? But I think probably Barcelona want to get the best out of De Jong. If obviously Busquets does leave the year after, De Jong and a Kessie pivot.
No, that's what I thought. That's what I always thought. Like, I was like Busquets has shown he can pick up injuries. With injuries, bro, 4-2-3-1, Kessie and De Jong, that is probably a quality double pivot. Like, they complement each other so well.
We're saying how Kessie's played in the pivot before with Benacer.
Sorry?
We saw how Kessie's played in the pivot with Benacer before. Yeah,
so it's like, you know what I mean? So it's like this whole narrative of like, oh, he's stinking it out in Barca, he's this, he's that, fam. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I get it. I'll be real with you, bro. Like, as in, if you're not a person that sits down and watches Barca or reads about Barca, of course you're going to make the narrative of, oh, why are they selling him? Clearly he's surplus to requirements. Nah, man. That's why I said it is a very weird deal. And I don't think it has anything to do with his ability. It doesn't have anything to do with what positions he occupies. No, the guy is very highly rated at Barcelona. It's a contract issue. He's on a contract from a previous president, which Barcelona are trying to get rid of. Like, it's no surprise they're looking to move on all players that are under Bartomeu contracts. So you either reconstruct them and you're more than welcome to stay, or it's within our best interest to move you on. And Franky de Jong has already shown. I think from what I've read, he's happy to reconstruct his contract, but it's just a case of, like, maybe they're not agreeing on the same percentage. They want him to take a 40% cut, and I've always said, I reckon if they agree on a 20% cut, I reckon he does it.
I hear that. And I think with De Jong, like someone said, bro, they gave Gavi and Like they have Gavi and Pedri there, and you can probably argue, like if Bernardo Silva leaves, do they really need De Jong then? Because I'll be honest, I think Bernardo Silva is better than De Jong in that role, kind of thing, isn't it? As an eight,
Nah, he's better in
much
that
better.
role, but the stance has always been Bernardo Silva only gets signed if De Jong goes. You know what I mean? And like the whole Pedri and Gavi thing, like fam, Gavi is 17. And Gavi turns 18, I think, either tomorrow or Saturday. What? Are people gonna go into a season with an 18-year-old and a 20-year-old in midfield? Nah,
Well,
man.
you know better than me, yeah, but you like the way I look at it from the outside. Do you think Barcelona have a bias, / their fans have a bias towards Spanish players?
No, Barcelona fans always have a bias towards any La Masia academy players. It's always been like that. Like the core of Barcelona has always been La Masia. It always
So do you
has. But
think
I'm
there's
saying
more pressure from Xavi to play someone like a Gavi?
I
And I'm
don't
not saying
know him
Gavi's
as a
bad, by the way,
no.
because I think he's sick.
No, Gavi is my star boy. Like Gavi's the guy, but Gavi's not ready to start 38 games a season. He ain't. Bro, the kid's 18. As much as he looks good in moments, he does need to build some consistency. He does need to improve with time. Like at the moment, I reckon starting Gavi at 18 years of age, week in, week out, will hinder him more than it will benefit him.
Develop him.
Pedri has shown, yo, like I'm the man. And Pedri's older than Gavi anyways. He's got so much more experience under his belt than Gavi. Gavi coming in, like similar to how Xavi used him last year. He comes in for every now and then. He might come in, play 2-3 games, then he's on the bench again. Like that's the best way to bring in younger players. Like look at how Pep done it with Foden. I think only in Pep's third season did Foden actually become a player that gets 20 plus games.
How do you think De Jong fits into Chelsea then? If he does go Chelsea, which I hope he doesn't. Because I've seen a lot of people say they don't need him, and I disagree with that. And make sure you guys like the video as well.
I think he fits in quite well. He takes the Jorginho role, isn't it? He does the so what Chelsea doing the whole what? Because they always change it up front. But let's say it's like a 3-5-2 or a 5-3-2. De Jong in the center is quality, fam. Like he really is.
Correct me if I'm wrong, yeah. I swear Holland play a back three as well, innit?
Yeah, under LBG they do.
And then he plays just in front kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think Chelsea in that pivot with someone like a Kovacic, Kante, whoever plays next to him, I think he'll be a calm midfield, I'll be honest.
No, it makes sense, bro. Because you look at Chelsea's midfield, as much as it's good on the eye, Kovacic is young, but Kovacic has shown he's not the most reliable because he picks up injuries. Jorginho's got 12 more months left, and I don't think he gets a new deal. Like as much as people
I
are
think
saying,
it goes back to Italy, innit?
Yeah. Jorginho in a year's time goes back to Serie A. Like everybody knows this. Kante has got question marks around him because like his engine is gone. Kante without an engine gets exposed because technically he's not that sound. So I wouldn't be surprised if in 12 months' time, Jorginho is gone, Kante is gone, Kovacic will stay because of age. But if those two go, Chelsea will need midfielders. Chelsea are not going to start next season with a midfield of like Kovacic, Billy Gilmore, Franky, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. They won't. Chelsea will need players in midfield. And the thing is, a quality midfielder is available. So why not go in for him? And do you know what it is? As much as in the news it looks like it's just Man United and Chelsea that are going in for Franky de Jong, I think once it all gets settled, like let's say, for example, let's just say the final hurdle is deferred wages. I reckon once deferred wages get settled, you're going to see those two teams probably quadruple. You're going to see more and more teams come in because now it's just a case of pay the amount that we want and the player is open to join it. But at the moment, I don't think many clubs want to go into it because they don't know if he's actually leaving or if he's staying.
You think there's a chance PSG go for him? Because I swear I saw a report today linking Bernardo Silva with PSG. So they might be looking for another midfielder because I think
they got
Renato
Renato Sanchez today, and they got that I forgot his name, the guy that they signed from the Portuguese league. Yeah, they've got him. They've still got Verratti. They've still got Danilo. They've still got
Wijnaldum and Tristagona Gale leaving.
Yeah, he's gone to Roma. Now I don't think PSG will go in for him. I was reading something along the lines that Bayern have got eyes on him.
I don't know, man. I think after the Mateus Tell signing, Maybe they might go in for Conrad Lima because I still don't think that deal was happening. But other than that, I think Bayern are done, innit?
No, but the thing is, I don't like I said, once the deferred wages thing gets settled, don't be surprised if a lot of teams come in final minute.
Yeah, I hear that, but I feel like with Bayern, it would be a risk in it after they also spent big money on Delict. Like, he won't cheat for them, innit? But you never know, like, time will tell. A big up 2001 with the Super Chat. He said, Bainesy, we just hit Fabian Ruiz. He said, dragging too long. I said this. You see Fabian Ruiz? Before I knew we were linked with Jong, I said to Saeed when we done a show with two midfielders, it will be Fabian Ruiz. He was one of them. I think his quality. I think he has a year left on his deal. Real Madrid are linked with him, innit? Which is obviously a bit disappointing in terms of, let's be honest, like, if I'd rather just wait a year and go Real. Real is the best champions of Europe. Rotating in that midfield line, which he probably will. Maybe Dani Ceballos could leave next year. I would do it.
Nah, he's cold. He's like I've had my eyes on him for about 2-3 years now. He's actually very good. But nah, man, 12 more months to go. Madrid want you, bro. He's gonna see out those 12 months and go
signing on for you, won't it?
Yeah, nah, it makes the most sense for him to go to Madrid. I'll be real. If United don't get Franky, well, bring me Ruben Neves. I'll be content.
Okay, we'll discuss that. So, and someone said reason. Who did you say? I think I said Chouameni was signed because Chouameni, that was before he went Real, innit? So I said that. And make sure you guys like the video as well. There's still over 234 people watching. Make sure you subscribe to Harj as well. The link is in the title. What was it? Ruben Neves going.
Oh, he's quality, bro. Like I remember even when Wolves signed him when he was at Porto when they were in the Championship. And I remember even at that point, I was like, wow. I was like, from what I've read, his quality at Porto. How comes like Wolves went in for him? How comes no other club went in for him? Yeah, bro. Like season after season, the guy is quality. Like I'll be real with it. Yeah, the guy is quality. Now people might look at it and think, oh, but it's a downgrade from frenkiedejong. Yeah, but it's an upgrade on what we currently have. If he comes in and then after a year or two, you begin to realize that maybe he's not that good. That's when you upgrade on Ruben Neves. But like I sit down and watch him.
How much do you think Neves costs? Because I think he's about 50, 60, 70 million pounds right now.
Well, no, you have to bear in mind, he comes from a Premier League team. He comes from a team that's not that desperate to sell. If anything, it's within their best interest to keep him because Moutinho, I think Moutinho's like 35, 36. Yeah. And Moutinho was signing 1-year deals. So, like, I wouldn't be surprised if this is his last season. But let's be real with it. Like, in 2022, I pay no attention to price tags. I really don't because there's not a single player out there that's worth his price tag. You're always going to have to overpay by 30, 40%. That's the market. Like if you're going to sit down and say, oh, I only want to sign players that are worth the right amount, then you're not going to sign anybody. Everybody is a bump nowadays. You just take it on the chin. And he is a quality player. Like let's not deny it and make it seem like he isn't. He's one of Wolves' standout performers season after season.
Before I answer the super chat, where do you think Neves is the best role is?
In a double pivot. I wouldn't have him by himself in a six. No way.
Okay. Because I agree with that, innit? Because I saw a lot of people, remember last year, I saw a lot of people saying Neves holding the midfield with Pogba and Bruno. I was just like, no chance.
I thought that. I'm not saying names in it.
You thought that?
No, I saw it. I debated it.
I thought I was going to say you said that. Oh, they kicked you off the stream right now, man. That's a horrendous take kind of thing, isn't it? But I do feel like, and I see a lot of Wolves fans saying it, especially during pre-season last year, where Bruno Lage was using him a bit higher up kind of thing, innit? Compared to how Nuno used him in terms of a bit more of an 8. And that's where they said Neves excels at.
Yeah.
So that's what I've always said. Like when people want to play him in a 6, if you listen to what Wolves fans say, and they watch him a lot more than us, they say he's not the perfect player kind of thing for that. And you don't get the best out of it. But we'll see. In a big up HKN Music. He said frenkiedejong is not a guaranteed start at Chelsea. Van Gaal made it clear that if any Dutch player needs to be playing to make the World Cup team, De Jong ain't going to Chelsea over United where he's guaranteed game time. Guaranteed time. I hear that, yeah, but then with how many games are before the World Cup, he's still going to get a considerable amount in my eyes, isn't it?
No, but LVG will take him though. Like, I'll be real in it, yeah. Like LVG says some things that aren't really true. Like, if you don't take Franky de Jong, who are you taking to play in midfield? It's like saying, if the start of the season comes and Van Dijk is just benched, and what's his name, Klopp decides to go with Konate and Matip, or you're not taking Van Dijk. Like, there's some players that you take regardless. Yeah, and but Franky de Jong is one of them. LVG, Van Dijk is one of them. I reckon Memphis Depay is one of them. That's what it is. Like, Timber is a player that, yeah, he's up and coming, but at the end of the day, in order for him to maintain his form and that consistency, he needs to play week in, week out. Franky de Jong, you can bring him in where he hasn't played for 3 months and he'll still ball out. The guy's 25, 26 years of age.
Fam, these lot are so weird. Big up HKM Music with the super chat, by the way. Like, what is this? Turn around, look what you see. I see Ten Hag and Ronaldo. Hard tease, Neymar?
Why do you give it attention, though?
No, I don't know, man. That's just weird, though, isn't it? Turn around, look what you see.
They've now gotten what they wanted.
Yeah, I know, but come on, man. Yeah, I'll be honest though. You know, if we don't get Dion, do you think we sign another midfielder?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, I think I've always said United should be signing another midfielder, even if I reckon the Franky de Jong thing will go on till the 1st of September. Unless like a statement comes out that says, yo, he stays. And from what I've read, the third economic lever goes in, then Barcelona will have no problem in terms of registering players, in terms of Franky de Jong. I really don't. Now, in terms of what happens afterwards, I don't know. Like I've always said, if Franky decides to stay and stay on the current wage that he's on at the moment, I wouldn't be surprised if Barcelona do like phase him out to force him to leave in January or next summer. Yeah, but at the end of the day, like once the transfer window is up, it's up. We can't do anything until next summer. United, bro, like we're not linked to anybody. I'll be real, like as in every now and then I see Tielemans, but
I thought he was going to Arsenal yesterday.
Wanted Tielemans.
I swear I saw a report linking with Arsenal.
No, I saw a tweet yesterday saying it's done with Arsenal. It's just a matter of days before it's announced. So I don't know if that's true, but as in
they said they already pulled the third lever, by the way.
Oh, so nah, man, I don't know. Like I reckon we're going all out for Franky, but I wouldn't be surprised if United have told Barcelona that, for example, your deadline is the 20th of August. Come the 20th of August, if nothing has been agreed, at least we've got 12 days to sign somebody. But even then, which club is going to be willing to sell you their midfielder? Because let's be real, United are probably going to go and sign a starting midfielder. So which club is going to be willing to sell you their starting midfielder, 2 weeks into the season? And even if they do, they're probably going to want double the price. So, yeah, United going all out for Franky de Jong, it is very risky. If it pays off, it pays off. And then it's something that you can look back in a year and say, look, if United gave up in July, we would have never, ever got him. But if United don't get him, then, bro, it's Bruno Fernandes part 2. It's Jadon Sancho part 2. We spent a whole summer chasing Bruno and we never got him. Then we ended up getting him in January. We spent a whole summer chasing Jadon Sancho only to get him 12 months later. Like, I've seen this before with Man United.
I'll be honest. If you ask me right now, do I think we sign a midfielder if De Jong doesn't come? The answer is no. Like that's just the way I'm thinking, and I don't know how much you can blame on the club and how much you can blame on Ten Hag kind of thing, innit? Because I feel like Ten Hag is either his target or no player kind of thing, innit? That's what it feels like right now to me. Anthony, for example, is not coming. What's the alternative for Anthony? Let's be honest, the answer is nothing. So what makes me think right now we're going to have an alternative for De Jong?
I don't think there is, bro. I really don't. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if you see a stopgap signing, like just a player that comes in. To be fair, I'm not that surprised if the stopgap signing is Eriksen, because you could already see as much as people thought Eriksen was going to come in and take Bruno's spot, Eriksen is playing deep. So if United don't get
No,
Franky de Jong, we're not going into the season with McFred.
no, I hear that. Yeah, big up Peter, by the way. I hear that, by the way, with Ericsson playing deeper, but Ericsson is not doing De Jong's role. De Jong's role is what Fred is doing in terms of being the connector kind of thing.
Cool.
Which is why I disagree with that. I don't think
Yeah, but
Ericsson
bro,
is that
it
stopgap. I
still
think Ericsson would
improved
have
the
been the player
midfield.
that Ten Hag would have won in no matter what kind of thing.
But I reckon if Man United had signed Franky de Jong, Eriksen won't play that deep.
I don't know, man. I think we still would have saw him deep, you know.
No,
I'm not saying like he would have played every single game deeper kind of thing, but I feel like we still would have seen him a considerable amount. Because you could have probably argued for Brentford in terms of we played a little bit deeper in terms of what we're used to seeing from Christian Eriksen before.
Yeah, no, because the thing is, you would so you're telling me if we had signed Franky de Jong and Eriksen is here, we would have gone into games with a double pivot of Eriksen and de Jong?
Some games, yeah.
I don't think so.
Some games, not all, because I think it would have been rotated quite a lot in it. I don't think Eriksen's a guaranteed starter. I said this before.
Yeah, no, I don't think so, because it's as much as they're both good on the ball and this and that, bro. Neither of them are defensive minded. Like we would get bypassed in midfield at the moment. We really would. But at the moment, Fred and Eriksen, because you could make a case that Fred is a little bit more tenacious, he's a little bit more defensive minded, he will help the team out. That's why I'm saying Eriksen is slotting into a role at the moment which is made for Franky de Jong. So if we do not get Franky de Jong, it won't be McFred. It won't be. It will probably be Fred and McTominay rotating to play alongside Eriksen. But if we had signed de Jong, then I reckon Eriksen would have either played as a backup to Bruno or played out on the wings, because he has shown at Tottenham, I can play on the left, I can play on the right.
I don't know, man. I feel like we would have seen maybe De Jong and maybe a Fred together, maybe for the bigger games where you need a bit more defensive coverage, and then maybe in the big, easier games, without like, being rude and stuff, we might have seen the Christian Eriksen and De Jong together.
But you know what it is? Eriksen can still do that whole connector role that you were talking about. He can do what Fred is doing at the moment. He'll probably do it 10 times better. He can.
But then you also lose the qualities of maybe Christian Eriksen going forward.
Yeah, you lose it going forward, but at the end of the day, bro, he's got 4 men ahead of him. I'll be real. Like if those 4 are not good enough and they still need Christian Eriksen, then you should be worried. Yeah, bro, you've still got 4 guys in attack. 4. I'm not gonna say quality.
Wait, who's the 4 you're talking about?
Sazen, bro, ahead of Eriksen, you're still gonna have a Bruno. You're still gonna have a Sancho, a Rashford, and a Martial.
Oh, you're including the wide guys. I'm talking about like just the central areas kind of thing, innit?
No, I'm talking about the thingy. So as much as we're missing out on him in attack, he is benefiting us in an area where we are depleted. Like we are shockingly bad, and that's why I think Eriksen will be a starter. I really do.
I think he's probably started a lot more than we think right now, just because we're lacking him in midfield, isn't it? But I think with the De Jong signing, would have changed a couple of things, because then you would have had the option of De Jong and Fred together, for example, innit? Which we don't have now. It's going to be Fred and Christian Eriksen, or Fred, Scott McTominay kind of thing. And someone said Erik Ten Hag has said if you can't find the right midfielder, you develop one. Talking about developing a player, that could be Zidane Iqbal. Because Zidane Iqbal, stylistically, you could argue semi-similar to De Jong, innit?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie, innit, bro. Like in order to develop players, you do need them to play week in, week out. That's the only way they're gonna improve. It's a case of,
you know, in those midfield areas we're talking about, yeah, you got Fred, McTominay, Christian Eriksen, Johnny Van der Beek. Then you are looking at people like Zidane Iqbal. Then
I don't want to. I'll be real with you. I don't.
No, you might not want it, but you are technically.
No,
unless I'm missing
Iqbal will improve. He will definitely improve this year. I reckon he'll get a lot of minutes in the Europa League. But as much as I like the kid, if I see him in a Premier League game, I'm pissed. Like I'll be fuming. And that's not me saying I don't rate him. No, I'll be real with it. I'd rather give the minutes to Iqbal and the other Donny, whoever his name is, Charlie Savage, than give them to McTominay, because I've already seen the McTominay development phase. I've seen him come at the age of 20, We've tried to improve him. Now he's going to be 26. It's over. Like McTominay is not a young player in my eyes anymore. He's a senior pro. The project has failed. Bin him. That's how I look at McTominay. I'd rather give the minutes to Iqbal. I'd rather give the minutes to Savage. But nah, man, like no way. Like if we get to a stage where we're playing Iqbal in games in the Prem, long day, I must say.
Someone said, what about Martinez? You said that before, innit? In terms of if we don't get Jong, do you see Martinez playing in midfield?
I reckon as much as we've signed him to play on the left, here's what it is, innit? I hope I'm wrong. Like, this is the one time where I hope I'm wrong, innit? Yeah. If I usually say something, I hope I'm right. I hope I'm wrong. But I reckon, bro, when the season starts, we're going to get annihilated in midfield. I really do. Like, I think it's going to get to a point like...
I think we're already seeing it in pre-season.
Sorry?
I think we're already seeing it in pre-season.
Yeah, no. We're getting bypassed in midfield. But at the end of the day, one could always make a case that, it's pre-season. Like, nobody's really giving 100%. Every few minutes, you're making subs, this and that. Cool. Bro, it's like last year when everybody came out and said, oh, I want to see 2 8s of Bruno and Pogba. And I remember I straight away said, we're going to get murdered. Bruno and Pogba is 2 8s. Nobody bought into it until United were literally getting bopped off the park in the centre. What I think would happen, we'll start the season. At times, we will get murdered in the midfield. I think the midfield will get bypassed. There won't really be anybody there because you can make a case that both of them are more attacking minded than they are defensive. And I reckon, bro, the midfield will be empty. And then it will get to a case where, like, the transfer window is over, bro. So you look at the squad and you think to yourself, who can be that defensive-minded player in the centre? Who can give me something just for the time being, just for the next 6 to 12 months? None of our midfielders are DMs. Like, and I don't think he's going to persevere with McTominay. It might be Martinez. He's got experience in that role. Now, as much as we want him to play left centre-back, we might have to bite the bullet for a year. Like, I've seen it happen at so many other clubs. You'll play a player out of position until you get the time to go out and sign somebody else. And it might happen. It really might.
Facts. For the people asking about FPL, yeah, I'll make a video tomorrow with a league code with my team and stuff.
You want to have a league for them?
Yeah, we're always doing it. I think the first year I came top of my own league, you know.
Bruh, I've got a league. I've got over 500 people that joined, and I don't know what I'm going to do about it.
Long day for you. And big up 2001 against, he said, surely there must be some centre mid gems out there. I think they are. Like, even someone like, for example, Kone from Bristol Mönchengladbach. But I said it before, these players might be good players, but does Ten Hag want them? Because I've said this before, as much as I like Ten Hag, he has kind of dismissed the recruitment team suggestions in terms of signings from what it looks like, innit? You could argue it's the right decision, because I think they're revamping the scouting network for next year. Only time will tell, innit? But I think he clearly wants people that he's familiar with, kind of thing, innit? And it's not a bad thing for his first year if they are revamping the scouting system.
No, it makes sense. I've always said it. Like, when a manager comes in and his philosophy is completely different to the previous managers, the one thing that will help you out the most, more than bringing in your own coaching staff, the one thing that will help you out the most is actually bringing players that understand your philosophy, because they're like your mini assistants on the pitch. Like, Martinez will already know what Ten Hag expects of his defenders without Ten Hag having to scream from the touchline. And that's what helps, isn't it? So I get him chasing his former players. I really do. But at the end of the day, you could see we're not going to be able to get all of them. So getting in on Martinez, especially in defense where we are poor, will help. I reckon Martinez, like, I just love his character in it. Like, I don't think he'll only be having a say in defense in it. Like, I reckon
I didn't realize how small he was, you know.
Sorry?
I didn't realize how small he was.
Yeah, bro.
Like, you know, when you hear like 5'8", 5'9", yeah, like you don't think of it like that kind of thing. You know, when I saw him, I was like, raw, you're small, you know. But then he still puts himself about, kind of thing, innit?
No, bro, he's
I don't think it will be an issue.
He won't be an issue, man. I get it, yo. Like, clubs wanted him, they didn't get him. So what's the first thing to do? Cook him about his height. Like, I can guarantee you, if Arsenal signed him and Man United missed out, United fans would have been cooking him for his height. But at the end of the day, if he was small and passive, I'd have a problem. I'd be like, you're not benefiting us in any way. Bro, the guy is small, he's tenacious, he gets stuck in, and he's silky on the ball. Like he really is, isn't it? And from what I expect, United are gonna be having a lot of the ball. We're gonna be dominating the ball many times. So if we're dominating the ball, how many times do you reckon in 90 minutes that defense will be tested? Like I hope to get to a stage where we're similar to City. Like for example, I think Edison is shit. But the only reason why Edison doesn't look that shit is because City hardly ever let the opposition have the ball where they can go out and test them. So that is the aim for Man United.
And I think that's the argument that we were having last year. Remember when we were talking about, what was it? Matip versus Varane? In terms of would Varane start for Liverpool? And the answer is probably no. And it's not us saying Varane's the worst defender than Matip in terms of what that Liverpool need, because they defend this, they need a lot of on-the-ball qualities. And let's be honest, Matip is better on the ball than Rafa Varane, for example. So I think we have to see with that. And someone saying, you man can't dominate the ball within midfield. I think we can dominate the ball to an extent, but you're still going to see, for example, us getting caught in defensive transitions, for example, innit? Because we don't have that, you could argue, natural defense-minded midfielder. Now, when you think about it, even, for example, Fred. Like, Fred's going to be the deepest in a midfield, for example. Yeah, Fred is an engager. He's not used to kind of being in front of the back four. He wants to engage. He's like a flyover shit kind of thing.
I don't think 4-2-3-1 suits Fred. I don't. I think Fred is 4-3-3.
Yeah. But that's not always going to happen, kind of thing.
Yeah, no, he has to adapt, innit? But I'll be real with it. Like, everybody knows my take on Fred, innit? Like, Fred looks good because he was always constantly compared to McTominay, innit? Like, Fred isn't all of that. Like, I reckon in a year or two, Fred is either gone or he's a bench player. Like, he won't be like this season. You're going to see a lot of players start for Ten Hag that I don't think you'll be seeing start in a year or two. I really don't. But at the moment, he has to work with what he has.
Just quickly before we wrap this up, make sure you guys like the video, yeah? And you know my prediction with Fred. You know what I think will happen? I think United activate the new option for another year, because I think his contract finishes next season, isn't it? So then we'll have him for another year, and then after that, I think we just let him go on a free. That's just my opinion. Or we try sell him next summer after we've activated the 1 year and try getting some sort of fee.
Wait, so he has what, 24 months left?
I think he has a year left, but we have an option for another year.
Yeah, then Fred's on the same boat as many other players. He's on the same boat as Martial. He's on the same boat as Rashford. They haven't got much left. And at the end of the day, it's sink or swim, innit? You either turn up this year and show you're worthy of being part of the new project. If not, cash in on you. That's why I keep saying, like, people can get excited about pre-season. If the attacking players don't turn up, if the midfield players don't turn up, if the defensive players don't turn up this year, expect a crazy clear out next year.
We'll see, and we'll see. But anyway, is there anything else you want to say before we wrap this up?
Nah, man, I'm good. I'm all good.
I wanted to talk about the thing. What do you call it? The Dean Henderson situation. But I'll say that tomorrow with Saeed, innit? So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you can do that. But Saeed loves the goalkeeper debate.
Yeah, and it's not even about him starting. It's about his comments, innit? Because I'll be honest, I disagree with a lot of people's takes on Dean Henderson, innit? And we'll discuss that tomorrow. Because the way I've heard some people speak about the comments, I'm just like, people are just doing too much kind of thing, innit? People are just doing too much. But listen, there's over 200 people watching still. Make sure you guys like the video. It don't cost anything. Just like it. It helps me. It helps the channel grow. And make sure you subscribe to Haj. The link is in the title. And we're going to be bringing back, the quiz show soon. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for that. But anyway, big up everyone for watching. We'll be back soon.